All right, folks, you got to see this one. An intruder breaks into a home, but he ends up in the hospital after a young girl grabs a gun and shoots.
This is a wild one. It happened in Bryan County Wednesday morning. The 12-year-old girl was home alone when the man broke in. New at 6, News 9's Chris McKinnon joins us with her story. Chris.
Christina and Kelly, the 12-year-old told police she heard the man ring the front doorbell. When she didn't answer the door, he went around to the back and kicked open their back door. That's when she called her mom, who told her to get the family gun, hide in a closet, and call 911.
Okay, I have a deputy en route. I want you to stay on the phone with me, okay?
Okay, please. I think they're in the house.
Knowing her daughter was in danger, Deborah St. Clair raced home from work.
I drove home at a really fast pace to try to get to her, and when I got here, the police were already here, and they had the suspect.
That's because St. Clair's daughter shot the intruder as he made his way through the house.
Please help me, please.
Okay, all right, I understand. Do you still have your mom's gun there?
Yes, I do. I have it in my hand.
And then what we understand right now is he was actually turning the doorknob when she fired through the door.
The bullet hit the intruder and he took off, but he only made it a short ways down the road.
He was sitting down. The policeman had him apprehended at the end of the block, and all I saw was some blood coming down his back. I'm not exactly sure where his injury was, but there was some blood there.
She's a proud mom who's thankful it ended the way it did, knowing her daughter is safe.
She's amazing, and I think she is. I think she's incredible, and I just haven't been able to stop hugging her and kissing her and telling her how much I love her.
Authorities identified the suspect as 32-year-old Stacy Jones. The undersheriff in Bryan County says Jones was airlifted to a Texas hospital, but this afternoon he was released from that hospital and booked into the Bryan County jail. Chris McKinnon, News 9.
A 12-year-old Bryan County girl who shot a man yesterday after she says he broke into her home is being hailed as an inspiration to others tonight. K10's Erin Jones sat down with the girl today and talked to her about what happened. She joins us now live in the studio with more. Erin?
Tom, I had the opportunity to talk to Kendra and her mother today about the break-in and find out what exactly was going through her head the moment it happened.
So I didn't answer the door.
She went to the blinds to get a closer look at the man at her door, and that's when she says 32-year-old Stacy Jones started pounding on her door. Scared and worried, she called her mom.
She said, "Mom, I think he's going to the back door." And I said, "You go get the gun and you get in my closet right now and call 911.
I was sitting there in the closet, really scared, holding the gun, not knowing what was going to happen. When he turned the door handle, I shot toward him with my mom's gun, and it hit him right here in the arm.
After she shot Jones in the shoulder, he ran out of the bathroom and through this door. She stayed on the phone with 911 operators the entire time she was in the closet and did not come out until they said it was okay.
I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. I was kind of hesitant about the whole thing. The whole time, I was scared and sad, and I was crying. I couldn't believe it was happening.
Today, she's being called a hero for her bravery. Although severely shaken, McClare says she was able to remain calm and think logically.
She has set a good example. I don't know of many women or men or young girls who would have been able to do what she did today.
Today, she attributes her actions to her mother.
She helped me be calm and that everything was going to be okay, and that I knew exactly what to do because I was...
Today, Jones is out of the hospital and being held in Collin County. He has been charged with first-degree burglary, and investigators have removed the bullet from St. Clair's wall. Her back door is also being repaired. Live in the newsroom,
Augusto
Jones,
Jr. says
K10.
he didn't have a choice.
I had to shoot them. Didn't want to, but I had to do it.
Augusto, known in the neighborhood as Gus, was inside his Harlem restaurant supply store when police say 4 men tried to rob it just after 3 p.m. Thursday.
Only one showed up over here with a gun in his hand, and they're screaming they want the money. Where's the money? And my worker was down there, and the one guys down there were beating up on him, thought he had money.
Augusto says he tried to convince the gunmen to leave, telling him to go home, but that didn't happen. He says when the robber walked away from him, he grabbed the shotgun he bought 20 years ago after another robbery. He fired 3 blasts toward the front of the store, killing 2 of the suspects and wounding 2 others as they tried to flee. Investigators say Augusto will not be charged in the shooting, and he doesn't believe he should be.
I did the only thing I could do at that time. I tried as long as I could not to. Tried to get out of it. They didn't give me no, they wouldn't let me.
76-year-old Vern Grant, with Parkinson's and diabetes, is an Army veteran who defended himself today.
Well, just screaming, incoherent. He reminded me of the Manson.
An intruder hit him in the head, nearly killed him, until Grant shot the suspect in self-defense.
Well, you just have to do it, you know, if you don't, well, he'll kill you.
Grant's sister says the intruder came out of the nearby woods.
Well, he's just a crazy nut. He just came in from somewhere in Oregon, I think, maybe. Was living up here in the woods.
Grant's brother shows us how it all began early this morning. The suspect first smashed the windows of Grant's handicap van and rifled through his medicines.
The guy was screaming crazy things and he was berserk. He threatened to kill him.
Next, the suspect went for the door, shattering the glass and entering Grant's home.
It makes me angry. The guy was extremely lucky that I wasn't here. I am here sometimes. And he's still alive. He's lucky.
Sheriff's deputies came to the house. The suspect was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. It's been a very difficult time for this Army veteran. His wife died just 2 weeks ago, and now this.
You'd do the same if you thought they was going to kill you, wouldn't you?
Police say the suspect is a transient who will likely be charged with burglary. And they say it's very unlikely charges will be brought against Vern.
A 15-year-old at home with his 12-year-old sister when burglars try to break in.
That's when investigators say the boy grabbed his dad's assault rifle and started shooting, and he hit one of the men repeatedly. This all unfolded this afternoon in the 2600 block of Royal Place Court. 11 News reporter Sherman Chow talked with neighbors and investigators.
Anxious family and friends crossed the yellow tape into a surreal crime scene. A 15-year-old boy and his 12-year-old sister had been home alone in the Mount Royal Village subdivision. And at about 2:30, a pair of home invaders tried the front and back doors, then broke a back window.
A young boy was protecting his sister. You know, he was in fear for his life and for his sister's life.
The brother grabbed his father's assault rifle and knew what to do with it. His dad is a Precinct 1 deputy constable.
We don't try to hide things from our children in law enforcement.
The children were not hurt. The home invaders fled, leaving a trail of blood. 2 suspects showed up at Tomball Hospital. One, the adult, had multiple gunshot wounds and was flown to Memorial Hermann Hospital. The second, a juvenile, was taken back here. Detectives walked the suspect through the crime scene. Meantime, neighbors say burglars had recently struck the 2 houses next door, which included the deputy's home.
They stole everything, what they have inside. They already did it one time.
And this may be the last time, at least for these suspects. In Northwest Harris County, Sherman Chow, 11.
Well, she told the 911 operator, I don't want to have to kill this man. Caught on tape, the haunting last moments of a suspected home invader. Suspected. He was on his way in. And the shooting that ended his life. A woman in Oklahoma called for help when a man described as crazy began pounding on her door trying to break through it. And over the next few minutes of this riveting 911 recording, we can hear her thinking out loud about what quickly became a life and death situation. Our chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt is with us now. Man, hearing this thing just start to finish, it's rough.
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary, Shep. You know, 57-year-old Donna Jackson was home alone. Her husband was at work, and she was laying on her bed quietly reading the Bible. Then the dog started barking, and Donna went to investigate. When she realized an intruder was trying to get into her home, she called 911, and the extraordinary events that followed were all caught on tape, even the sound of the man banging at Donna Jackson's door. Listen to this.
I can hear him banging. He's trying to get in. He needs to back. Okay, they're rushing. He's getting close to the door. I'm going to go ahead and get the gun out. It's a shotgun. It's large. Yeah, he's still here. Yeah, I can hear him banging. Can you understand what he's saying at all?
Now, Donna Jackson's fear is obvious in that recording, but so is her determination not to become the victim in all this. Here's the critical final part of the 911 call. Listen very closely.
He's crazy. I'm taking the safety off the gun, man. He's acting crazy.
Okay, do you have a place that you can go inside your house and lock yourself in a room?
Not really. I've got a big shotgun. I'm not going into a tiny bathroom. Oh, crap, he's at the back.
Okay, County 13 is advising that you can defend your property if you need to.
I don't want to have to kill this man, but I'll kill him graveyard dead, man.
I understand.
All right. He's breaking in now. He's breaking in. Gun on him. He looks to be an older man. I don't want to kill him. God, I don't want to kill this man. They need to hurry. He's going to break this thing open. If he does, I'll have to kill him, ma'am. I don't want to kill him.
I understand, ma'am. You have to protect yourself.
I will. Ma'am, he's about through the house. I'm going to shoot.
Can you, is there, oh my God. Ma'am, is your phone a cordless gun?
I shot him going out front. I hit him. God, help me. Oh, please, dear God, I think I've killed him.
Turns out the guy Donna Jackson shot graveyard dead, Billy Riley, has a long rap sheet, although cops have no idea what he was doing at the Jackson home. We also got hold of this letter today, written by the Lincoln County District Attorney to the local sheriff. In the letter, the DA says all the evidence suggests Donna Jackson's actions were purely defensive and entirely justifiable. So he says she will not be prosecuted. From the shock in her voice, though, Shep, she's likely to suffer nightmares for quite some time.
Yeah, you gotta wonder. It didn't sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Jonathan, thanks so
Her gun at an intruder while she was on the phone with 911. 18-year-old Sarah McKinley says the operator told her she couldn't shoot until the man broke into her home, and the stunning moments that followed were all caught on tape. ABC's Ryan Owens has the story.
I wouldn't have done it, but it was my son. I'd protect him.
This young mother takes maternal instinct to a whole new level.
I walked over and got the 12 gauge. Went in the bedroom and got the pistol and put the bottle in his mouth, and then I called 911.
18-year-old Sarah McKinley killed a man, she says, to protect her 3-month-old baby.
I'm here by myself with my infant baby. Can I please get a dispatcher out here immediately?
Late on New Year's Eve, police say 2 men, one armed with a 12-inch hunting knife, were trying to break into her home outside Oklahoma City. McKinley recognized one of them as someone she thought was stalking her.
He was from door to door trying to bust in. They said I couldn't shoot him until he come in the door.
Are your doors locked? Yes, I've got 2 guns in my hand. Is it okay to shoot him if he comes in the store?
I can't tell you that you can do that, but you do what you have to do to protect your baby.
The teen mother killed the 24-year-old intruder the second he stepped inside. Police call the shooting justified.
You're allowed to shoot an unauthorized person that is in your home. The law provides you the remedy and sanctions the use of deadly force.
The second intruder turned himself in. McKinley was home alone that night because her husband just died of cancer on Christmas Day. While her son may grow up without his father, this is one little boy who will always know Mom will do anything to protect him.
I knew that I was going to have to choose him or my son, and it wasn't going to be my son, so I did what I had to do. There's nothing more dangerous than a mother with her child.
For Good Morning America, Ryan Owens, ABC News.
A trio of would-be burglars. It's the kind of story that makes you say, yes. A trio of would-be burglars picked the wrong Albuquerque house to break into. Police say when the 3 teens pried open the door, a brave little girl was waiting for them, locked and loaded. Here's News 13's Maria Medina.
I was holding it like this and like that.
11-year-old Alyssa Gutierrez took matters into her own hands yesterday when 3 burglars broke into her home.
I was planning if they came right next to me, I would shoot them.
But Gutierrez never got the chance. Police say she spooked Miguel Marquez, Eduardo Zupiate, and Jesus Quintana.
My heart kept on pounding and pounding.
Gutierrez says minutes after her cousin Zachary left her home alone to run a quick errand, she heard the back door rattle.
I thought it was Zachary playing a joke on me, so I just turned the TV louder and ignored it.
The burglars pried open the door using a crowbar, but they had no idea that someone was home.
I slid.
Gutierrez says hiding didn't do any good. The masked intruders who stood just a few feet away saw her.
They had a rifle, so I was thinking, what should I do? What if they shoot me?
That's when she made a beeline for her mother's room.
And I ran back in my mom's room and grabbed her little pink rifle and there was 2 bullets in there.
With a loaded rifle, Gutierrez says she checked the rooms in her home, ready to defend herself.
It's a 1-shot bullet, so.
While Gutierrez protected her home, she had no idea the suspects had jumped the fence and that an off-duty APD officer spotted them. Gutierrez feels lucky. Just a few days ago, she learned how to shoot a rifle.
I felt proud of myself.
In Albuquerque, Maria Medina, KRQE News 13.
Pensacola man says the 3 teens who tried to invade his home this weekend should consider themselves lucky.
Jack Crawford says when he fired his gun, he made sure he did not fire a fatal shot. Channel 3's Bill Pearson tells why Crawford decided to only shoot 2 of the 3 teenagers.
Jack Crawford says as soon as he opened up the front door of his home Saturday night, he was facing 3 teens, one of which hit him with a baseball bat right across his head. Moments later, Jack pulled out a gun and began firing. Jack Crawford shares a home with his sister. And on Saturday night, Jack was surprised to hear someone knocking on the front door of their house.
There was 3 guys out there, and one hit me with a baseball bat right off. Opened the door, wham!
Even though he was stunned by a blow to his head, Jack pulled out a gun.
Shot him. Shot the other one, then the other one was running. I didn't want to shoot him in the back, so I let him go. But
Jack says he knew exactly what he was doing when he fired those shots.
They're lucky they're alive. That's it. If I wasn't in a good mood, they would have carried him away.
18-year-old Curtis Crenshaw and 17-year-old Nathaniel Nichols suffered gunshot wounds. Crenshaw, Nichols, and a 3rd teen, Earl Bernard, were able to flee the Crawford property, but the 2 teens who were shot were taken to the hospital where they were treated, then arrested. Jack Crawford also had to be treated for the baseball bat hit he suffered to the crown of his head.
I've got a hard hit, believe me. it wasn't that bad.
Crawford is not in trouble with the law because of the state of Florida's Stand Your Ground law.
It's a good law. The law cannot be everywhere to protect everybody. You got to protect yourself, period.
Now, Jack hopes people learn a lesson before they decide to try and break into his or anyone else's house.
You don't take a baseball bat to a gunfight. They better know it. Next time they'll be carrying them away. If there is a next time.
Jack Crawford says he hopes other people, especially senior citizens, learn from the incident that happened here on this doorstep on Saturday night. Jack says you should either never open your door for strangers or have a gun nearby just in case they cause trouble. Reporting in Pensacola, Bill Pearson, Channel 3.
Would-be burglar picked the wrong target. Police say an 87-year-old homeowner shot the intruder last night in Baldwin Hills. KCAL 9's Randy Page reports the suspect is in critical condition.
Retired postal worker Jack Goodwin describes the events of last night in very clear terms.
Either me or them, and it's simple.
When intruders began smashing the glass in a rear window,
I heard a boom, boom, boom.
They likely had no idea who they were dealing with.
Pretty good shot?
Deadly. I'm not bragging, but I was deadly. Yeah.
Jack Goodwin's World War II discharge papers call him a marksman. He was the platoon leader for this rifle company stationed in Okinawa. He married, raised 3 girls, and lost his wife 20 years ago. He suspects intruders figured since he lives alone, he would be an easy target.
Ain't no men, all old ladies, and they by themselves, and I'm an old man.
Last night, this plain-spoken former Army corporal was in bed listening to the Laker game when he heard the pounding on the other bedroom window.
Did your heart start beating?
Oh, no, I wasn't scared.
Not scared?
Not at all. Mm-mm.
He showed us how he picked up his gun, walked down the hall, saw the intruders smashing the window, raised his gun, and fired.
When I saw him breaking the glass out, man, I got kind of, it was either me or them then, you know.
Goodwin fired 2 shots. One intruder was hit, the other ran away.
I knew one thing, they were going to deal with me, because if you got enough nerve to break in somebody's house and they home, they got enough nerve to kill you, see? There's no ifs and ands about it.
So did Jack Goodwin have a legal right to shoot this apparent intruder? Well, the law says if a reasonable person would believe their life is in danger, they do have a right to protect themselves. And in this case, investigators tell me they do not plan to file any charges.
If you had it to do all over again, would you do it any differently?
I could run out the front door probably. But you don't know who's out there either. You just have to go down with the ship.
Jack Goodwin says he's not looking for a fight, but he will not back down from one. In Baldwin Hills, Randy Page, KCAL.
surprise of his life when he broke into the home of a senior citizen.
Yeah, she pulled out a gun she had inherited and she fired it for the very first time. Wayne Friedman is in Richmond where he picks up the rest of the story. Wayne.
Well, this is a rare story. It's unusual in that it's a frightening reflection of life in cities today. But it's also inspiring because in this case, the victim turned the tables really fast. Almost every call is urgent in the Richmond Police Department's dispatch center, but few are as memorable as this one from last Sunday night.
I need the police out here.
Okay, what's going on there?
Well, because somebody broke in my house and I got up and went hurry.
The call came from the home of 84-year-old Gustava Harvey, who lives alone. That intruder kicked down her door and made directly for her bedroom. But there, Mrs. Harvey had a surprise for him, a vintage .38 caliber police special.
She fired one time, and in the straight direction that he was standing, the bullet struck the wall at about chest level. So he was very lucky not to be injured or killed by that.
It took just that one shot for the intruder to leave, and in a hurry. Mrs. Harvey and her son did not want to relive the experience today, but their friends are talking.
She was scared that somebody would come in there into a home.
Well, I mean, as a homeowner and a citizen, you're allowed to possess a weapon, and you're allowed to defend yourself and your property, and so these are all things that she was well within her right to do.
Police did not confiscate the weapon. The suspect remains at large, and the neighborhood quite proud of the frightened 84-year-old woman who found the strength to not back down.
Well, she's probably not the only one that have something to protect their homes. So, and I'm glad she did use it, because otherwise she'd have been a victim.
We do have one final note. It was late and it was dark, and because of that, Mrs. Harvey was not able to give a good description of her attacker. She did have one telling detail, however. She told police that when he left the scene, his pants were soiled. From Richmond, Wayne Friedman, ABC 7.